Quite an unusual start to this Green Line video. As I was heading to Irish, the end station, to start filming this, the metro randomly shut down for almost an hour. You can see a little bit of footage from people inside the carriage, and the Yellow Line train's working normally on the parallel tracks. We're stuck outside Campo Grande station here and eventually managed to get out and try and find somewhere to start filming.
I hope that we could withstand.
The huge green Alvalaxia Stadium seemed as good a place as any to start the video.
When all of my tears are running dry, who'll take me back to the top? The waves come crashing in. The roaring...
Hello YouTube and welcome to another video. If you've been following this series, you'll know that I've already done videos on the red line, blue line and yellow line of Lisbon. Today we were meant to be doing a green line video. As you can see here, we're at Campo Grande, which is the second station on the Green Line, and we're outside the Estadio José Alvalade, which is the home of Sporting Lisbon, one of Portugal's 3 biggest teams. Basically, this video was meant to start in Irish, which is just down from here, but I've just been sitting on the subway for an hour. There's some kind of electrical fault on the line, and everything is just broken down on there. There's airplanes going overhead, the weather's terrible, so we're going to start this video here and do a little bit of footage from around here, but then probably I'm going to have to get on the yellow line because it's working from Campo Grande, and then pick up this video further in the centre probably tomorrow, which is my last day in Lisbon. So here's a bit of footage of the stadium. I might have to voice over this because it is pretty loud in this area. It's very close to the airport. This is the Alvalaxia Centre at the José Alvalade Stadium, and as you can see in some of the footage, it's got like a Burger King. There's a kind of little shopping food court centre in it, which is pretty nice. The rest of the area is quite run down. I actually used to work in this area right across here from the stadium, very close to the metro station over there, but as I said, the metro today is deciding not to work on the Green Line, so let's take a quick look around here. And then I'm gonna have to take the yellow line and pick this up later. Wow, I definitely wasn't happy with this train situation at the time. I looked absolutely fuming in the introduction. Anyway, let's have a look through this centre before moving on. A few little shops and supermarkets and places to eat. I think also a cinema inside, so not bad for underneath the football stadium really. It's quite a nice little centre. I think there's a multiplex cinema and also restaurants and stuff in there as well. It's something that you probably don't appreciate when you come here every day for work. I used to always travel here from Orient on the red line, and as I said, work over there. I think I only came into the centre maybe once or twice, even though there's like useful things in it. So the rest of the plan for today was to actually probably stop at 1 or 2 stations down the way, look at the artwork and have a wander around. And then some of the central stations on the Green Line are within easy reach of each other. Again, the airport is so loud from here. The other stations are in easy reach of each other, so what probably would be walkable. But the weather today is also not very nice, so it might be better to try and pick this up tomorrow, as my flight is not until the evening anyway. Okay, I'm still clearly fuming at this point at the absolute chaos and the bad weather, but anyway, we're going to move on. Interestingly, on the way back to Campo Grande station, I've spotted this future map that looks as though they're going to turn the Green Line into some kind of circle line, adding a few stations more towards the centre, and also take up part of the yellow line to make this a better and easier connection. So this was an interesting find. Campo Grande kind of holds a special place in my heart because I worked here and I came out at this station 5 days a week, but it was actually a lot more run down than I remember. There are a few interesting little shops and places to grab food inside it, but as the metro stations go in Lisbon, it's not one of the classier, more glamorous ones, unfortunately. For anyone who wants to see how to get a ticket for the Lisbon Metro, which I quite often do at the start of these videos, this is how you do it. You can approach one of these machines, which can be operated in Portuguese or English, and you can choose from a range of different ticket types. Here I'm using the day ticket, which is €6.45, because you can get on and off as many times as you want for that price, which is really good value these days. So let's get back onto the Metro and see where we can actually get with all this disruption. So this is the dual platform, which is the green line on one side and the yellow line on the other side in this kind of half-open station. At this point, it seemed as though I was going to have to get on the yellow line, but then suddenly there were announcements saying the green line was running again, and therefore we could pick up a train to go to the next station on the green line. So here we're going to get on and go towards Alvalade. So here we are arriving at the next station on the line, which is Alvalade. Really quirky and colourful tile work, which was actually quite a surprise. I passed this station obviously a lot on the way to work, but I don't think I'd ever got out to appreciate some of the work up the staircases and also the little street lights, which are really nice as well. Station was definitely a pleasant surprise and something that I hadn't remembered from my time living in Lisbon. Here you can see the map. This is Telheiras at the end of the line where we were meant to start, and Campo Grande where we ended up starting, where the football stadium is, and Alvalade where this beautiful tiled work can be seen. Also on that map you could see a station that was closed, and two of the stations, I think Roma and Arreiro, that were kind of grouped together because one of them was not operational at the time. Going from Alvalade past Roma, Arreiro, one of them was closed, to Alameda, which is the change station on the red line. This was a station that I also used a lot, obviously living on the red line and working on the green line. This was always where I was running through this shopping area to try and change lines. There are quite a few different types of stores here: electronic stores, bakeries, barbers, hairdressers. So it's quite an interesting station in that respect. So that's where we're going to abandon the video for now and hopefully pick it up tomorrow. Managed to hit a couple more stations because they said that normal service was resumed on the green line. So we managed to hit Alvalade and Alameda, but after that there were signs saying various disruptions, different times, and as I said, most of the things I wanted to do were kind of outside, so we're going to leave it there. Also, the pavements, whoever designed the pavements in Lisbon, is kind of fine, a little bit slippery for summer, but as soon as it rains, this is not designed for rain. It's like a death trap. Before I get roasted by any Portuguese people in the comments, I love Portugal and I love Lisbon, but these pavements are so dangerous in the rain. Then, as if by magic, it's the next day, the weather's amazing, and we're at Martin Muniz station. Let's go and take a look around. Okay, so we're picking up the disastrous green line video from yesterday further down the line. I've just got off at Martin Muniz, which is much more central. I think it's the fourth last station on the line, fourth or fifth. This is the closest station to the Castelo São Jorge. You can see it probably somewhere in the background on the hill. We're gonna have a walk up there and see if we can get a little bit closer to it. My plan obviously was to do this video yesterday, but we got rained off. The subway line was going down and everything. So now I've got about 2.5 hours to try and get this all in the can before I have to go back to the airport for my flight home. So we're going to take a walk around at the last few stations in the centre, see what we can see and do. Again, we've managed to find somewhere pretty noisy. There's two huge noisy fountains and a lot of traffic, so hopefully you can hear this. So we're going to go up to the castle and then we're going to go down into the centre, Rocio, Baixa, Cais de Sodre, which are the last few stations on the Green Line.
Oh, look how much happier I am with a bit of sunshine. So from this station to go up to the castle we have a choice. We've either got a massive staircase on the left or a huge escalator on the right. I know which one I'm going to choose.
So this was a great start. We've just discovered a massive escalator that goes much further up towards the castle. You can see it here. So I'm just chilling on the escalator, hopefully getting towards the destination, we'll see. Seems a bit too good to be true, but there we go. Beautiful day today as well. It was like torrential rain all day yesterday, so it was very difficult for filming, obviously for the electrics on the subway, I guess, and just generally getting drenched everywhere you went. So today is really, really nice, and it's been like this most days in Lisbon, so I mean, perfect weather, particularly for October.
So glad my escalator journey was ruined by a fly hassling me for the entire way. So here we're finding our way towards the castle, heading up through some of these streets. It's amazing how much easier everything is to do when it's not raining and it's not slippery, and when you've taken an escalator halfway up the hill. And just check out this view with the perfect blue sky, absolutely stunning. I definitely wish I could have spent a little bit longer in this area on this particular day. So many nice bars, restaurants, cafes to spend time in, and just beautiful weather. A lot of people enjoying strolling around, me marching around as fast as I could to film the rest of this vlog. But as you can see here, we've got a stunning view from this platform. Trying to take some kind of thumbnail or Instagram selfie. I don't know, I thought you guys might enjoy this being left in, so I'm leaving it in because look at the background. Will this be the thumbnail or not? Who knows? So here we are coming up to the entrance of the castle where you can buy tickets and then go inside. Again, we're rushing around to try and get all of this in, but let's take a look around this entrance area and see what there is to be seen. On the way back down the hill, I found this restaurant with a great viewing platform. Look at the views from here.
Whew. So it's a very sweaty day for walking around, but I highly recommend going that way to Martin Muniz subway station and then taking that escalator up the side of the hill. And then obviously there are more sets of stairways. There's kind of a loop at the top as well where you can go around the castle and some of those viewpoints that are in the video. Unfortunately don't have time to go in the castle today because there's limited time to finish this video off and a huge queue. I have been in there before and it's well worth going. When I lived here, it's actually free with your residency, but if you are a tourist, it's about 10 euros I think at the moment for adults and 5 euros for kids. Well worth going on a day like today when the views are absolutely perfect. So next we're heading down into Rocio Square.
This area is really good for bars, restaurants and cafes, and also there's a lot of souvenir shops if you want to pick up a little memento. Here we're heading into one of the main squares of Lisbon. I believe it's called Pedro the Fourth Square, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And then also we're heading towards the beautiful Rocio train station. And this is the stunning Rocio train station. You can see it's partially been taken over by Starbucks in the bottom right corner. This is one of the best connections to Sintra, and it's just a fantastic place to walk around and look at as well, designed in the late 1800s. Here we're walking up the hill towards the next station, which is Baixa Shadow. And here you can also check out the Santa Justa elevator, which goes up 7 stories. You can wait and queue for this, but we're going to go around the back to a little secret entrance. On the way up to the secret entrance to the lift, we're going to actually check out Baixa Shadow station, which is the second last station on the Green Line. You can see the interesting entrance to it here. This one is interesting because it's kind of a more glamorous indoor version of Campo Grande. The 2 lines run parallel to each other, the blue and the green line, so it's very easy to just change from one to the other just by going through a small tunnel. Here we're continuing on foot past Baixa Shadow station and towards the other entrance to the elevator. By walking up a couple of these hills and across, we can get to the elevator from the other side with some really nice sights to look at on the way. You can basically approach the walkway at the top end of the elevator as if you'd gone up the elevator and just enjoy the same views anyway without having to queue. And this is the other main entrance to Baixa Chado station towards Chado Square. We're going to have a look around this and then head down towards the final station on the Green Line, Cais to Sodre. If you're a fan of Lisbon's famous trams, this is one of the best places for tram spotting. Here we're heading on foot down the hill between the last two stations on the Green Line from Baixa Chado down to Cais to Sodre. It's a fairly easy walk going this way, not so much the other way uphill. There's also many beautiful squares and a lot of nice things to see on the way between the two stations. As you head towards Cais to Sodre, you can check out Lisbon's famous and highly Instagrammable Pink Street. This area of the city was formerly quite a dodgy place, but it was given an overhaul in around 2013 and is now one of the trendiest night spots in the city. And here we are at the bottom of the hill going towards Cais to Sodre subway station. If you take the Green Line Metro right down to Cais to Sodre station, you can then come out at the train station. This is a good place to connect to the line going out to the beach. You can see the trains here, and places like Carcavelos are well worth a visit. Here's a map of the train network showing where you can go from this point. For those who are interested in looking in each of the stations themselves, this is Cais to Sodre station, kind of an industrial-ish theme, maybe similar to Terreiro de Passo, but with more artwork along the walls. Pretty nice station overall, actually. And here's the subway map showing where we walked today. Alameda was where we left the vlog yesterday, and Martin Muniz where we picked it up today with the better weather. We walked down past the castle to Rocio Square, through the train stations and Baixa Chado, and then down to Cais to Sodre at the end. Here's a little bit of the outside of Cais to Sodre. It's also a port as well where you can get the boat across.
Okay, so this is where we're going to end the Green Line video here at Cais de Sodre on such a beautiful day. It's absolutely boiling, got a sweat on, and unfortunately I would have liked to do more stuff, particularly go to Alcantara, which is just down from here close to the bridge. That's definitely worth a visit. I've been there before, but this time I'm not going to be able to get there. But if you do come to Lisbon, it's well worth seeing some of this stuff down by the bridge and by the coast. I'm going to have to run back now to my hotel, grab my bags and get to the airport. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe, give me comments if possible so that I know that people are watching and what you think of it. There's definitely going to be more of these videos coming, planning to go to some other countries, potentially ones with metros or subways and structure it that way, but potentially not, depending on where I end up going. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.